Hey, Gary Baker here with Publisher Report. So I have three big ideas here that are based around the fact that it is summertime or starting to be summertime here in Arkansas, and that's really the way I go about my research. Of course, during the summer, people like to do things, and of course they're going to buy the books in anticipation of doing those things. And that's part of the business here where we're creating real books for real people, is creating these books that might only sell during certain times of the year, but we may not really have a clear understanding if that is really the case. So we need to do research, and that's what this video is about. And to do that research, we're going to start off with Google Trends, which might surprise you. We're not going to go straight into Amazon, and we're going to start with the first one that I'm thinking of that people like to do during the summer, and that is hiking. So by default, this is going to land you in the past 12 months. What you want to do is drop this down to the past 5 years, because what we're looking at or looking for is trends. And as you can see here, you're going to see this search volume is going to go down. So in December, which here in Arkansas is winter time, hiking is down, and then as it gets warmer and turns into the summer, of course this is May 23rd, you can see here May 28th going into June, it spikes for people that are looking for things around the search term of hiking. And of course, this trend continues every year between summer and winter. Go up here to compare. The next one I'm thinking about is biking. Biking is going to be the red line. And you can see here that this has the same sort of trend. It's not as drastic or dramatic, or it doesn't increase the way that I thought it would for summertime. But then again, I don't know as much about biking as I do about hiking. Which again brings me back to this idea of creating real books for real people. It's really understanding and knowing what people want a book for. What do they need this book for? When people buy a logbook or a journal, they're recording something that's important to them and they want to keep it. So what is it that is important that they want to write down? And that's part of the research process too. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we dive into this. But I want to go back to Google Trends real quick and add one more term that I think about during summer. And that search term is golfing. And this was a bit surprising, and it shows the trend here is even smaller than the biking trend in red. As you can see, the golf trend in yellow. Golf, pretty much, the search term is a year-round search. And what that tells me is that people like golfing so much, or maybe that there's so much interest, or people that golf have more money or availability for the number of courses around the world that they can go play, no matter if it's summer or winter. So for example, here in the US, here in Arkansas, you can play pretty much golf year round, and people do. Of course, you can go to Florida, you can go to California, and of course there you can play golf year round because of the weather. Of course, you could hike and bicycle there as well. So again, part of the research process and the thought process of creating books that are going to sell, whether it's going to be seasonal or whether it's going to be year-round, we don't really know. But it's just the idea of creating these real books for real people, and this is the beginning of the research process. And that's why I use Google Trends here. And as you can see, this data is really enlightening into the thought process or the way people search. And of course, if they're searching for things, most likely means they are ready and going to buy. Which takes us back to Amazon, and now we are going to start searching for hiking. Of course, the SPT, or Self-Publishing Titans keyword expansion tool, is going to help us a lot here. Of course, if we just use the word hiking, you're going to see tons and tons and tons of products that don't have really anything to do with books. But what we can do is we can say, of course, hiking journal. And then what this is going to do is bring us into hiking journal. And then of course we could say trail logbook, and we could hit enter. And of course this comes up with an SPT keyword niche score of 30, which is good. If you hover over the question mark here, it'll give you the facts about the score and how it's just a guide, but it is a very helpful guide. One thing I want to bring to your attention here, if you scroll down, here you will see, did you mean hiking journal trail log book? There's a space between log and book versus the keyword that I typed in, which is log book with no space. Let's click on that and see what changes inside of the keyword niche score tool from Self-Publishing Titans, which again is just a very helpful tool to give us a general direction on the way we want to go when we're looking for keywords. And this is quite amazing in my opinion. This changed from a 30 to a 61 and a green light, which definitely means that this is something that we should explore and create a book for. Now, what about the other two topics? Should we keep exploring those for this idea of a summer niche or a seasonal book that we should create? I think we should, because you did see a little bit of a spike, and definitely the trend is there for those books. And if you are going to do research and again find out what kind of book you can create for real people that they're actually going to use, you're going to have to deep dive into each one of these topics, because hiking, biking, and golfing are all different. And the people that do them are all different, and they're all going to want to keep different things or records of different things in their books. And that is how you're going to learn how to create the interior that is going to actually sell and sell well and even get reviews, because it's going to have the detailed information in it, or the places where they can put in the detailed information and record the things that they want to record in their book. And that's what we're in the business of. Again, always remember that. And remember that the book that you create, of course, finding the keyword is awesome, and knowing that it ranks high on the SPT and you got a green light, it's in the 60s or 70s, that's fantastic. And then coming up with the cover, of course, which is the billboard for your book, and getting people to click on it. And then, of course, when they look inside, they're going to see that interior. If that interior is unique and it speaks to them on the things that they want to keep inside of their book and really write down to remember or to track, to get better, whatever the purpose of your book is, that is the real key to making books and selling books and getting reviews and selling more books. So if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then check out the video you see on the screen right now to keep doing more niche research and creating real books for real people. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.